TV personality Janelle Brown of Sister Wives acknowledged her continued love for Kody Brown. She might never move on from her curly-haired ex, the female reality star. Janelle Brown, the star of Sister Wives Season 18, is unmarried. Will she stay that way forever? Jenelle could discover that living alone is simpler than dealing with the highs and lows of a romantic relationship. Even though Christine Brown recently wed David Woolley and appears to be happy. Since a long time ago, Jenelle has not been active in the dating scene. She briefly dated Adam Barber before she met Kody. Since she was first single, a lot has happened in the globe. There are valid reasons for Jenelle to determine that she would be better off being single. Alternatively, she can make an unsuccessful attempt to locate a companion. Jenelle held on to hope because she loved him during Sister Wives Season 18. But the death knell was that he was unable of reaching her on an emotional level. Jenelle missed their early days of camping together when their relationship was pure bliss. Janelle's heart was repeatedly broken by Kody, who used a brutal method called death by 1,000 cuts. He persisted in torturing her rather than ending it immediately, which would have been compassionate. She allowed him, of course. Jenelle had known the truth for years, even though she refused to acknowledge it. She wasn't truly loved by Kody. The red flags were glowing fluorescent green. It took years for everyone to realize that Kody's courtship of his fourth wife signaled the end of his multiple marriage. Everyone in the polygamous relationship had their own motivations for continuing it. Kody's dream was to become a father. His bread and butter was that. What would he be without that status? Money, celebrity, and opportunity were all enshrouded in the concept of the uber patriarch. It may rain heavily without the umbrella above. Although it's more difficult to comprehend why Jenelle stayed, it's not difficult to see why Kody stayed in the multiple marriage. It wasn't just for love, though it was most likely the primary one. I think Jenelle still feels a strong attraction to Kody. Her affection for him was openly shown. Hence, it's likely that she harbored optimism for an improvement. Heartbreak is frequently the result of this sort of hope, which is rather typical in love circumstances. It was obvious to see on TV that Robyn was unmatched by anyone. Unlike Mary, Christine, and Jenelle, Kody did not hold his brunette wife in high regard. The Fana was dragged down by Kody's love. He may be difficult to live with at times, but he will stop at nothing to win Robyn over. He's all in. Robyn means the world to him. This level of dedication would be quite amazing in a different context. That's how love ought to be. But rather than receiving praise, Kody receives criticism since he is a polygamist. He started to change because he loved Robyn and couldn't or wouldn't hide it. His enthusiasm in his previous marriages waned. He started to push them away, and it's possible that his actions were partly subconscious. He's a one-man lady at heart. Therefore, his mentality was telling him to cut ties with everyone but Robyn. Individuals who are in love are not always rational. Without truly intending to, they are capable of being harsh to others. For instance, a person who is in love with someone may behave in a way that borders on psychopathy when they reject other suitors. The reason for this is that someone who is in love is totally engrossed in their emotions. Kody had the appearance of a creep. He came out as heartless and frigid. Robyn was the object of his sentiments. This was a really awful scenario for the other women. It's not that romantic that Jenelle became his buddy. Her role was to serve as the sounding board. She had a bromance kind of chemistry instead of passion. Of course, it wasn't enough for her, since Kody feels that she needs his body. However, they were financially dependent on one another, had children, and there was the whole celebrity issue. In short, there was a great deal at stake. Considering that, just think of how awful things had to go before Jenelle gave up. She turned aside, realizing how much was at stake. The reason for this is because her husband's love for another woman was simply too much for her to handle. Everything that Jenelle is now angry about, including money, is actually simply a mask for something more unpleasant and difficult to deal with. Kody doesn't love her back, which is why Jenelle is in her feelings. Really, it's that easy. All of the rest is simply background noise. At the moment, Jenelle is 54 years old. She has her entire life ahead of her now that she is free. But again, she's been through a lot in life. She could think she's past relationships after a decades-long spiritual partnership, and moving on from Kody could be quite difficult. She may choose to dwell in the past rather than try anew with someone else. She'll undoubtedly reflect on the issues in her relationship for a long time. She can be resentful of how things ended or yearn for the good old days. She was married to Kody. Indeed, she shared him with other women, but they all thought that arrangement was sanctioned by God. Kody was meant to be Janelle's lifelong partner. Kody certainly had a difficult family dynamic to begin with, but he made it excruciating by falling in love with reality TV program star Robyn. Though Jenelle suffered, Kody most likely endured the most hardship. It was his responsibility to seem to be somewhat in love with other women and even have sexual relations with them. He could have felt unclean after that. Since the lady he truly loved was staying at a nearby house, he was forced to have sexual relations with ladies he didn't love or find attractive. Robyn was ready when he arrived. A nightmare for each and every one of them. It makes sense that he finally stopped having sex with Christine, Jenelle, and Mary. It was something he simply couldn't bring himself to do. When he's in love, Kody is incredibly passionate and devoted. He believes the lady he is in love with is ideal. Kody is every woman's worst nightmare when he's not in love. That lesson was learned the hard way by Jenelle, and instead of trying again with someone else, the Sister Wives Season 18 star might just want to lick her wounds.